It's that time again for another not-so-normal gaming podcast, featuring your hosts, MrTechnoSqueek.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Nostalgic Dan 1.
Everything I feel is in this sword. Good.
Come on!
And Quick Freeze 4.
Don't worry. I'll handle the bad guys.
This is a podcast you want to listen to, but first, you gotta press start. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Press Start Podcast. This is episode 33, and I am one of your co-hosts, Quick Freeze 4. Yeah. And as always, I am here with my wonderful co-host, Mr. Nostalgic Dan 1. How are you, Dan?
I'm superb. How about that? There we go.
That's awesome.
Always have to think of a new word besides fantastic.
Always has to say fantastic. And the other co-host, the wonderful, the so adorable, Mr. TechnoSqueek. How are you, Techno?
I'm doing.
Don't say it.
Great.
Don't say the F word.
There you go.
The F word is banned on this podcast.
I'm proud of you.
Dude, I freaked out last night. Or it would be 2 o'clock in the morning. Because I was like, I'm going to bed. And then my phone goes off. And then I look at it. It's email. And I look at my Gmail. And the first thing I see, PSO2. I was like, oh yes! Beta invite, motherfuckers! Yeah.
As you can tell, he's very, very excited.
It's going to be amazing.
Mm-hmm. But we'll get to that a little bit later on. But we have a guest today, and that is the Sainted Magnus Show. How are you, Sainted?
I am Fandabadoze.
Oh! See there what he did there? He used an alteration of the word. See, that's acceptable.
That's acceptable. So I can't say the F word, but it depends on which F word, considering where I'm from.
You can say all the F words as long as it has nothing to do with the Fantastic Four.
What, the Fantabulous Four?
Yeah. There you
go. So it's a pleasure to be here anyway, guys. Even though it's like 3 a.m. where I am at the moment.
I know, that's crazy. We appreciate you coming on this so late at night for you.
Oh, I know.
So, but why don't you tell everyone where what you do and where they can find you and, the different things you do.
Oh, well, where do I start? Well, this year's been quite a weird one, really, because I've started a podcast with Alpha Omega Sin, Yell Chaos, and Razor Fist, and we are the Hate Bit Podcast, one of the most pissed off podcasts on the internet. And myself, my channel is just basically like a vlog channel, where I document what games I'm playing, what games I've finished, what games I've picked up, and just various video responses here and there. Looking at starting some more of my day out videos when the weather improves, because currently it is absolutely god-awful. Raining, wet, cold, so it doesn't make for a good video, so looking forward to getting back outside in the summer, take some more videos. So, busy year to coming up. Taking a break at the moment from actual making videos to actually work on a series of videos that I'm going to be releasing hopefully around about the end of May, once I've got everything right and to the point. So yeah, a bit of a waffle there, but again, thank you for inviting me. It's been it's a good little podcast you got here, and I enjoy it.
Nice. Thanks for being on. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Why do you listen to us?
I do listen to you.
You're not supposed to ask him that.
I do listen to you,
That's nuts.
Well, I have been listening since podcast 1, so...
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Horrible.
And it's not the first time I've been on, because I was on your live stream, if you remember.
True.
He was on our live stream, yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I'm a two-timer. I'm a two-timer.
How did you guys come up with the idea to create the Hate Bit Podcast?
Ooh, right. Well, this is actually a good question with a good answer. I was actually on Facebook with Alpha, and I'd had a few to drink, and we were sat bullshitting on Facebook about random stuff. We just brought up the topic of podcasts. So we said, well, we should start one, and he goes, yeah. I said, well, we'll go and get a host each, a co-host each, and he chose Razorfist, who's actually one of the most articulated proprietors of the English language that I've ever met. And I brought Yell Chaos, he's a good friend, and he's probably one of the most angry of us all, really. And I'm a fellow Nintendo fanboy as well. Well, he keeps wearing his Nintendo fanboy hat, which is a Mario hat. And I've just got one because I've just bought like 30 packets of those Kid Icarus AR cards.
No, you joined the club.
Yeah, I joined the club. I got about 30 packs of them. I'm still waiting for them to drop on my doorstep, but I'm afraid of my floorboards underneath the doorstep because there's going to be that many.
Oh, yeah, I picked up about 25 of those things at like PAX, man. They're crazy.
I know. I'm planning on doing a video of them, but I just recently ranted about pointless video game collectibles, and I kind of contradicted myself in a way with the AR cards, but they look interesting. They do look interesting. The booster pack that you get with the game, Kid Icarus Uprising, was quite interesting. I didn't get the Dark Pit card, which is the one I want.
That's the one I want too.
Yeah. But I got Magnus, which was kind of funny, but when you actually meet Magnus in the game, he's a bit of a prick, if you ask me. But I've not really enjoyed playing Kid Icarus Uprising, which is a shame, because it looks fantastic, and the wit's there, it's funny, but it's just that control system. Because I'm a left-hander, it's a bit awkward.
Do you have the Circle Pad Pro? I heard that helps like people who play left-handed.
It does help. But then when you try to play it on a desk, like you would with the easel, as we've dubbed it, it doesn't feel comfortable, it doesn't feel right somehow, and you can't play it on the desk because it keeps moving around, because there's no little rubber feet on it. So I need to invest in one of those little rubber mats that sits on my desk.
I just picked up the Kid Icarus guide today, and that came with free AR cards inside as well. Came with Dark Pit flying, and then it came with Hades and the Exo Tank. So.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you guys have like the Kid Icarus guide over there?
Oh yes, we do. It's a pretty price as well. Last time I saw it was about $17.99, and I'm not paying £18 for a fucking book.
Surprising.
I'm allowed to use that F word, I hope.
You can use whatever you want.
Yeah.
So what does everybody else think of Kid Icarus Uprising?
Love it.
Love it.
Phenomenal game.
MrTechnoSqueek?
He hasn't
Don't have
played
it.
He hasn't played
He
it.
doesn't have it. I absolutely love it, man.
So is he the Black Grimace of the podcast?
The Black Grimace.
Black Grimace.
Well, it's the Black Sheep, but
Yeah, it's like the Black Sheep, yeah.
Well, I just haven't had time to pick it up because I got PSO2 to play. And Diablo 3.
Oh, stuff Diablo.
That's all we're gonna hear about for like the next coming months. What have you been playing, Techno? PSO 2. Like every time.
No, those AR cards, they're crazy collectible. Like, I've been talking to like Holly, Dog in My Lens, like almost every day, and we're like, okay, this is what I got, and this is like, and we actually been taking pictures of our AR cards and putting them up on Facebook, for either people to look at or people to scan, and it's just, we keep adding to our collections. It's crazy.
Oh, well, unlike you lucky guys where your AR cameras work, mine don't. So I've kind of got a 3DS that doesn't have a 3D camera on the damn thing. And to be honest, I'm not getting rid of it. just for the cameras. I can just do without and just have the cards to look at, you know. I just need to go out and get some of those binders with the card slot, you know, the card case things.
Yeah, the 3-ring binders. Yeah, I need one of those myself. I got tons of them.
That's what I use for my e-reader. I have like a little binder with all my cards. I like the AR cards just because they remind me of the e-reader back when they used to do like the booster packs for them. That was a lot of fun. Even though people hated the e-reader, I liked it.
I like e-reader cards. I thought they were fun.
Yeah, I thought they were cool. Like seeing the artwork on like the back of the cards too, it was really cool. Like, it was fun.
Who remembers those Digimon Digivices with these?
Yes,
I had those. Yeah,
I had one. They were awesome. I had the Renamon one because it was just Renamon was the coolest of them.
I had that one.
Yeah, and I used it that much that the fucking cards frayed at each end. Oh, no, so I had to go out and buy another one just for the card.
Now, can you guys explain the e-reader cards? Because I never got into that. Could you guys explain like what that is and how it works?
Well, they're similar to barcode battlers.
I don't know what that is.
Right. Barcode Battlers was it's like a little LCD game back in the late 90s. And what you do, you used to go around and find barcodes, you know, like on cereal boxes, bottles of milk, that sort of thing. You used to scan them to find a monster. And then when you found the monster, you could add it to your collection. Excuse me. Then you get 2 of them, and you could have battles. They used to clip together like the old Digivices did. It's pretty much that, but you swipe the cards instead.
Didn't they have like old like 8-bit games on them though?
That's all it was. It was NES games.
Yeah.
You would have to scan like 5 cards.
10. Yeah.
They were double-sided. Like there's basically what it is the e-reader's like a little kind of add-on that was made for the Game Boy Advance. So, like in like early 2000, it came out. It wasn't too expensively priced. It came out like maybe like $40 or something. But you would buy these like booster pack of Nintendo cards. They cost like $5 for a booster pack, and you got like maybe like I'm only missing like 2 of the e-reader games for a complete set, but I actually have like the majority of them. But like say you would buy like the original Donkey Kong, you would get like a booster pack that has 5 cards, and on the sides of these cards is like these little dot strips, almost like a QR code, if you know what that is, where it's just like a jumbled mess of like dots. It's just a long strip of that, and you scan it through the e-reader, flip it over to the other side, scan it, and once you scanned all the codes, you played the game. And then they had special cards, like some Pokemon cards have special e-reader games, which I have some of them. There's like Game & Watches, and there's some promo cards, like kind of like, you know, how they have promo AR cards. There's like promo e-reader cards that you can only get through special Nintendo promotions. So that's why I say, like, the AR cards remind me of the e-reader. It was an interesting concept, but it failed miserably, but it's still cool in my mind. I still play it, too.
Why did it fail?
Just because of the idea of it. Like, you would scan, like, people didn't like scanning, like, 5 cards, and, you know, it just kind of failed because the e-reader really wasn't available, like, everywhere, too. It was kind of hard to find for a while, and just people weren't interested, really. And it came out when the Game Boy Advance was kind of like moving on, and Nintendo put out the SP, so people kind of forgot about it, honestly. It was a novel concept.
And, I think Alpha Omega Sin did a video on it, where, like, you had, like, Super Mario 2, and you could, like, you had these cards that would give you special power-ups, like,
I did
bigger...
like that.
Yeah, bigger, like, onions or whatever, you know, you pull out of the ground.
I always thought they were turnips.
Whatever. Yeah, they were.
No, I'm saying I always thought they were.
They are.
I've not played Mario 2 for a while, actually.
I'm brain dead from PS2.
To give you an idea, I actually own one of those booster packs. It's a Mario Bros. 3 booster pack for the e-reader. And it's really interesting. It's almost like old school DLC. Like, if you have, like, Mario Bros. 3, like I had it for the Game Boy Advance, so there was special e-reader cards. And it had, like, the booster packs actually had additional levels. Like, I'm talking, like, brand new levels that have never been seen before and never played before. You'd scan them in, you'd be able to play them on Super Mario Bros. 3 on the GBA. You'd also be able to give yourself, like, any power-ups you wanted, like a fire flower. They'd come in sets. Or one of the interesting cards in the set is the cape from actually Super Mario World. So you could scan that in and use the cape in Mario Bros. 3 from Super Mario World, which is really interesting. So it was really cool. It was fun. It's a lot of fun.
Be awesome.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun because it was just kind of different, and it was something different, like being able to fly around in Mario Bros. 3 with the cape. It was interesting. And I think
That's really cool.
Yeah, I think there are cards too that actually transformed Mario Bros. 3 into like Mario Bros. 2, where you could pick up vegetables in there too. So it was really cool, really fun.
They need to bring that back then.
Oops. See if that sells again.
E-Reader 2.
Oh yeah. For the 3DS, that'd be cool.
3.
This was for the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
Yep. The original.
And you could use it on the SP too. It just looked weird.
Yeah.
It's kind of funky because it's a big ass like black kind of device that has like a scanner. I don't know, it's kind of bulky. Like if you see a picture, it looks interesting, but you can see why it's kind of like big. And it was kind of designed for the original GBA.
Which I still think was the better design. It was just a shame it didn't have the SP101 screen.
Yeah. I had the original GBA. Played the hell out of it.
You know what
I had them.
This you guys talk. This has nothing to do with the e-reader, but you guys remember those the Game Boy Advance videos?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
They're like, you know, like the little cartridges, but it was basically like 1 or 2 episodes of like a random cartoon or something.
Yep.
Yeah, I had the one with I think it was a Pokemon episode.
Yeah.
It was one of the ones from the Advance generation.
I never got any of them. Like, how was the picture quality ever good on those cards or cartridges?
It was like viewing a YouTube video at 480 or 420 or whatever it is.
Yeah. My friend had one that had like a couple of Dragon Ball GT episodes on it.
Oh god. I'm sorry, I love Dragon Ball, but Dragon Ball GT was just... It was just shit. Sorry, but it was. Dragon Ball Z is awesome, though.
I posted a link to a picture of the e-reader, Clava.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Wow. That is one ugly piece of plastic.
It's kind of funny if like the ends were a little bit longer, it looked like a jackhammer or something like that.
It was fun. It was addicting buying all the booster packs and all that. Kind of like right now collecting AR cards. I used to collect like all the e-reader cards.
You want to hear a embarrassing story?
Yes.
It's about you, yes.
Yes,
Yay.
it is.
Yay!
Yeah, me and my friends.
That was a great story.
Good one. Oh my god, what a fucking...
Whatever. I'm not even gonna... Not going to tell you guys.
Tell your story.
Okay.
Come on, for the guest.
Me and my friends were into Yu-Gi-Oh, you know, during Season 1, Season 2. And, you know, they played their cards or whatever and the monsters came up. Well, we kind of used the e-readers, like, acted like they would come out of the cards or whatever.
Just summoning the cards.
Yeah, yeah.
Sick.
You know, we'd swipe the cards, you know.
Blue Eyes, White Dragon.
Yeah.
God.
You nerd.
Yeah.
Nerd.
No.
I
We
am.
are all nerds in our own little way.
No, that's kind of funny, man, because I still play Yu-Gi-Oh! And,
Well,
like,
yeah,
there's,
me too.
there's still people that, like, you remember those, like,
They
I
have
don't know
like
if-
plastic ones, like...
yeah, they had,
Yeah.
like, plastic dual discs,
Yeah.
like they did in
Yep,
the
yep.
cartoon. And I remember I used to go to this, like, local tournament, and they used to sell them there, and I remember all, like, the 10, maybe 11-year-old kids, they would buy them, and they would always get so mad because, like, the thing didn't actually, like, shuffle your deck or anything like that. Yeah. Basically, it just held them. It held your cards in the thing and not very well. And it was just, all it was just a hunk of plastic that would just hold your deck on your wrist, and half the time the deck would just fall on the ground and get wrecked and ruined, and those things were such a piece of crap.
I often wonder what was wrong with the table. I remember when I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh in college, and I was playing it with my mate, and we used to sit in the food court playing it. You know, we're like 19, 20-year-old men playing Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the middle of a bloody college. It was just awesome. And we was always like, I will kill you with my blue eyes white dragon. And it was like, once we drew it, it was like, yeah, wipe the table with you.
Card games is so great, man. Like I said, I still play Yu-Gi-Oh. I still play Pokemon.
I never knew how to play Pokemon. Like, I collected an insane amount of Pokemon cards just for collecting them and never knew how to play the actual game.
It's actually quite easy. Yeah, it's actually really easy.
It looks simple. Like, I think I kind of understand the premise, but there's some things I don't get.
Like, basically, probably the best way for you to learn right now is probably that Pokemon TCG card game online. It's probably the best way for you to learn, if you actually wanted to learn.
Get pawned by some kid.
It's not a bad game. It's actually quite fun. So Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon. So
I used to like getting the video games for Yu-Gi-Oh and the Pokemon trading card game because they were just so much fun, especially if you got the Game Boy version of the trading card game, because it felt similar to the actual adventure games, but they taught you how to play the actual card game and teach you strategies that you could use. So it was all good fun, I thought.
Yeah, they were just like Madden games. Like, they would come out with one every year, and they actually put one on the Xbox 360, which I downloaded, and that is wicked fun as well. So
I used to like getting on the PS1 version of Yu-Gi-Oh game. I can't remember the undertitle, but if you look on the bottom of the first and second series cards, it had like a little code at the bottom.
Yep.
And you used to be able to type that in on the game, and you could actually build your real-life deck into your game, which I thought was a very, very useful feature.
They did that for a lot of them, up until, I think it was like the Yu-Gi-Oh 2000, maybe 3 or 4?
Yeah.
You could do that? Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, that.
Yeah,
Real good feature.
Yeah, I don't think they do that anymore, but
no.
It was so cool though. Yeah, you could actually build your real life deck. Now you gotta like actually play the game, buy like in-game booster packs, and hope to get the card you want. It's very, very slow now, but or you could just use an action replay and unlock all the cards that way. But
but that's just cheating in my opinion. But oh well.
Oh, those are such a great game too. I love those.
Oh yeah.
I always like the fact when you're actually winning too, and you're like, I don't know, maybe one attack away from winning the damn duel, and this is like, you have lost connection with your opponent. Bullshit. Your opponent. Yeah, your opponent shut off their system. You lose. That always pissed me off.
Oh, I hate rage quitters.
Yeah.
I was playing Dragon Ball Ultimate Tenkaichi the other night, and I was playing it with Return at Mother Base, and I was kicking his ass, and I swear he rage quit, but he says his connection's balls, so he didn't get cutting us off, but bollocks, you know, he rage quit, because I was kicking his ass. Yeah. But I've been finding a few other people on that game, you know, online, and fuck me, they're brutal. I thought I was brutal, but then I got my ass handed to me, so I thought, stuff it, up in the difficulty to hard, and just practiced for like 3 days solid. I like to think of myself as a pretty adept player at that game, but not online. Some people need to get out more. It's like Street Fighter 4. You know, you play Super Street Fighter 4 online, and you know, for some reason these people just seem to like hiding in the corners and just firing Hadoukens and sonic booms at you. Sonic boom! Or the fireballs, and it just gets really annoying.
That's my strategy.
Spam.
Spam the
tactics.
person from the other side.
You win. Perfect.
No. Yeah, the fighting games are a lot of rage quitters, man. Like, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom, Street Fighter 4. I haven't encountered any in Street Fighter Cross Tekken, though, which is kind of amazing. But
I'm lucky I've not... since I heard that all the DLC was actually locked on the disc, we've kind of been having a vendetta against Capcom this past couple of months, and I decided to boycott all their games.
you know what? I've done that too. Like, I refuse to buy all Capcom games brand. Like, I still buy them, but I wait till they're like used. So I haven't bought a brand new Capcom game since Street Fighter 4, the arcade edition. That's the last one I bought brand new.
Yeah, so mine was the last brand new game I bought was actually a brand new game. It was an old one. It was on the Game Boy.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it was a while ago. Because I just buy all my games pre-owned now, except if it's games that I really want to support. Because, to be honest, games are way too expensive over here. I think for where you pay $60 for a game, it works out at about £37. We're paying near enough $45.
Wow.
So, in Australia, I feel sorry for them bastards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they pay, what, like over $100 a game or something?
100 Australian dollars.
Jeez. Now, like, what's this thing that they might be lowering the price of games? I heard something about this.
Well, Alpha Magazine just recently put up a video about the fact that, you know, people are starting to get wise to the fact that $60 is way too much for a game. So obviously they're using the famous line, waiting for the price to drop and buy it then, which is basically the strategy I've started using a lot. So most of the new games that I pick up, they don't cost me more than £30. Except for Kid Icarus Uprising, which cost me £35 because I went to 3 towns and 8 different shops to find the damn thing. But that's the strategy that I've been using, so which makes me wonder whether when they start releasing the next generation of games, you know, for the next generation consoles, are the games going to be priced accordingly to make people want to buy games, or is it just going to be the whole $60, £45 games, and people just get add enough and think, stuff it, and leave gaming altogether? I'm hoping that doesn't happen. I'm hoping that we get like a decent console for, I don't know, say $250, and then get games, you know, at $40. That people will buy more games, people will be happy, and then the money-grubbing bastards that make these things don't piss off the fans. You know, simple. But, you know, they're all back greedy cunts, pardon my language.
No, that makes more sense. If you're like, you lower the price to, even just say it's like $50. You know, if you lower it to $50, you know, over time, if you buy, 5 games at $50, then the 6th game technically is going to be a free game.
Exactly.
So, like, if you just do the math different ways, it kind of works out. But I don't know, like, I don't mind paying $60 for a game, but I would only do that if it's a game like I must have. Like, I know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of one, for example. Well, I'll just say if like, say Kid Icarus Uprising was $60, you know, I would get that because I knew that was one game I definitely wanted to buy day one. Thank God it was only $40. But I'm trying to think of a game that's. You know what?
Uncharted.
Actually, Uncharted I waited on because I didn't have a PS3. But like, no, a good one that comes to mind is Final Fantasy 13 too. I bought that one day one, and I got the collector's edition, so I ended up paying $80 for that thing. But like, you know, if I'm not a Final Fantasy game Final Fantasy fan, like for example, Dan, you know, you're waiting on that, so you're waiting for that to go down, aren't you?
Yeah, just because I didn't really care for Final Fantasy 13, to be honest.
Yeah.
No, I'm in the same boat. It's like Final Fantasy 13 isn't my favourite Final Fantasy game, and to be quite honest, I need to give it the chance to finish the game before I can move on to 13.2. But I've heard 13.2 is actually a major improvement on the original game, so
Yeah, it is.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, it is a way improved. But like, do you see what I'm saying? Like Sainted. Like, what is a game that you want to buy day one that you just must have? Can you like think of one?
Well, if I had a Connect, I'd go for Dragon Ball Z Connect. But
Okay, well, we'll just take that one. Would you buy, if you had a Connect, would you buy that day one and pay the $60 for that game day one?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, see?
I would.
So basically it depends on the person, so.
It depends on the person, but if I was to choose a game now, I'd have to say Phantasy Star Online 2, actually, because I'm actually genuinely interested in that game. But I'd have to go out and buy a system as well, because I want to get it on the Vita, because my PC won't handle, new games, which isn't a bad thing, to be quite honest, because I'm not a PC gamer anyway. So to have it on the Vita would actually be nice, and hopefully it's going to be priced right. If they price it at £40, then they're stupid. It needs to be between £25 and £30, or $40.
But that would also be a game you would buy day one, though?
That would be a day one buy, without a shadow of a doubt.
Techno, you're the same way too, right? You want that game?
Hell yeah!
I've been playing that game for 11 years, easily. And then I played the Mega Drive ones before, and I've just recently played the first one on the Master System. Epic. Just epic.
Now, is it like this new one? Is this going to be like cross-platform? So like if you play it on the Vita and Techno plays it on the PC, could you guys play together?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's actually really cool.
Well, they're experimenting with it with, obviously, Street Fighter Cross Tekken. They're going to be doing a, like a way to play Mortal Kombat cross-platform. There is other games that they're doing cross-platform, with PS3 and Vita, but they're looking at doing like Vita and PC and stuff like that, and trying to get a nice little network going. I have high hopes for this sort of game, because it's something I've been wanting for, years and years and years. Imagine, I'm going to quote the devil's game here, Call of Duty. Imagine a Call of Duty game or a Battlefield game where you've got Xbox gamers on one team and PS3 gamers on another.
Oh, that would be an ultimate battle, I swear.
that would be an awesome battle.
Weren't they going to do that with one game? I forget what it was, but they, totally canceled that whole thing. I don't remember.
I can't remember the title for the life of me.
It sounds like a cool concept, but, having Xbox and PlayStation 3 be able to do that where you could play people, that would be kind of difficult.
It was Counter-Strike, Global Offense. You could play... they were saying at the time you could play... People on PS3 could play people on PC, but they totally, screwed that all up, and it's not cross-platform anymore.
Why did they cancel it? Because it was difficult, or?
I'm not for sure. They just...
I think they just got lazy, to be honest.
Probably. But, with this whole $60 thing, according to the MPD group, physical content sales were down 8% in 2011.
Yeah, that's a big chunk of change. I think this past fiscal year, a lot of, Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, Sega, they've all noticed that they've took a severe kick in the nuts in terms of profits this year. So really, they need to start listening to the fans. I know Com's never going to fucking do it, but at least if they can do it.
Yeah, like a brand new book, DVD, or CD barely or rarely breaks the $20 mark.
That's correct.
Yeah, but with that though, see, movies and music, they're not as popular as video games, like video games are like a huge multimedia, way more than movies or music. So I could kind of see why they can charge a little bit more for video games because they can get away with it. They know you're gonna buy a game for $60, where you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They can get away with it because they know you're gonna pay it.
I'm just wondering what they think they're going to do when they're going to get away with charging $1,200 for the special edition of bloody Resident Evil 6.
God.
I heard that. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the bloody stupid arsehole that actually makes an unboxing of that fucking thing.
No, there will be.
And goes, derp or derp, I've bought this, and he puts this big stupid box down with a cheap ass leather jacket and a game inside.
Stupid.
That's stupid. Stupid, I say.
Now, do you think like video games, they took that 8% because of things like Steam? I'm not saying anything bad about Steam, but do you think a lot of people are buying more Steam games than
Definitely.
Hell yeah.
Well, do you think that's why we took an 8% loss on video games?
Well, with Origin, you're buying the rights to play the game. With Steam, you're actually buying the physical media. Well, it's like a digital media, but you can use it any fucking time you want.
Yeah.
And I think the 8% has come from Steam because you can keep that you can have that technology
Yeah.
there when you want it, and if you can just go offline and play it. With Origin, I've never used Origin, and I don't plan to, but everything's on their servers, so you're playing on the cloud basically. Which is why bloody OnLive went down the pan, because it's just a stupid service.
Yeah. That and all the deals, I mean, my god. Like, a new game could come out for $60. Steam will have that same new game 1 week, 2 weeks later at like a 10% discount or something, like now it's $50 right away. So that's where they get a lot of people, the damn like midweek madness, and like the damn deals just draw so many people to Steam.
And just like the Christmas sale that they do every
holiday specials.
Yeah, and they even do the QuakeCon whenever QuakeCon hits during the summer. Oh my god!
Impulse buy, man. That's how they get their money.
I'd say one thing I do like about Steam though is like if you do buy a physical copy of a game and it's got the little code inside, like the little registration code, and you lose that physical copy, you've got that digital backup on Steam. So if your system goes down, you can reinstall it on your system and play it.
That's cool.
I've had Half-Life 2 for, well, going on 7 years now, and I still play the game. And I can, I've reinstalled Windows a few times, and I've not been able to retrieve my files, but I can log into Steam, say, right, download Half-Life 2, or download Half-Life 2 and all the add-ons that I bought for the thing as well.
Yeah.
So you've got a physical copy there all the time, even though I still have a physical copy of the game. It's good to have that convenience of Steam. And just going back to this 8% loss, in terms of gaming in general, buying the actual physical games, it's because they're trying to force this DLC down our throat, this digital-only gaming. But we've had it for years, but it's done right with Steam.
Yeah.
It says, right, you can still have the physical media, but we can back your files up on our servers for whenever you need to use them.
This is like for saved games or something you're talking about?
Saved games, it can be for the actual files to run, for the actual game. It patches the game, and when it downloads it, it's pretty seamless.
Oh, okay.
Try buying a physical version of a PC game, and it says you require Steam. Just put the disc in, and if you lose the disc, you can always get it back. It's a fantastic service. I'll keep screaming about Steam to the higher heavens. It's just I don't use it as much as I used to.
Now, is Steam hurting, say, like Sony or Xbox or Nintendo, who actually sells their games as physical copies? Would you say that, or not really?
Not at all, honestly.
No, No, not really. Not to be quite honest. If Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony were worried about Steam,
They would have done something.
they would have done something.
Well, I'm just wondering
like
because
maybe dropped the prices, or maybe gave us a better bloody service, or even got rid of these stupid online passes instead of charging us £8 just to play a pre-owned game.
well, I'm just asking because like you could buy like say Assassin's Creed 2 on the Xbox, but you could buy Assassin's Creed 2 on Steam. I'm just guessing. I'm not sure if you really can, but
Yeah.
what would you rather buy Assassin's Creed 2 on, the Xbox or Steam?
Well, I'd buy it for what it was actually made, originally made for. So, for example, Assassin's Creed 1 was made for the PS3. So naturally I went for the PS3 version, but they released it on the Xbox 360, it was released on PC, and it's a fraction cheaper than what you find on Steam sometimes.
Yeah.
But it depends on how you want to play the game,
That,
I'll use genres, for example. If I want to play a JRPG, I'll buy them on the PlayStation 3, because I can get them imported and still enjoy the games. If I want to play like a racing game, again, I'll go on the PS3 because I'm comfortable with that layout. But if I was going to play a first-person shooter, I'd go for the Xbox because of the layout. It's all, at the end of the day, it's all about preferences.
Mhm.
Whether you like playing with a keyboard and mouse for your first-person shooters, or you like playing with a joypad with your first-person shooters. It's the same with buying games for your systems, or whether you want to play it on PC or console or handheld. There's many options there, and what I think they're trying to do is they're trying to save money and streamline it, so then we're all playing on the same platforms. Which is why a lot of people have been saying that consoles could be dead in the next 2 or 3 generations, and we'll just be all on the PC.
Yeah, and that too, like with the Steam thing, you gotta take into account collectors and people who are gonna want a physical copy, like something physical for their money as opposed to digital. And sometimes those physical copies are fairly cheaper. Like you could buy really cheap used games. And for me personally, like I just buy physical copies because I get them cheaper. Like to be honest, I use Steam for nothing but like indie games, to be honest, and like getting the same games that come out on like Xbox Live Arcade, those games always come out on Steam, and those games are like always cheaper on Steam. So I just play like the majority of like indie games, and I don't really have any like big titles like on my Steam. It's just nothing but small indie games, just because the preference is I'd rather spend some money and get a physical copy, and probably save money too.
That's a good point. Well,
No, this is interesting. Like I've never used Steam before, so I'm learning a lot. So
give it a try. It's good for playing PC demos, because they've always got a demo shop on there where you can try the demo of a game out, and if you like it, then they give you the option to buy it there and then. And like Dan's been saying, and MrTechnoSqueek has been saying, that they are, they're cheap. Pretty cheap, and they're pretty reasonable prices. Now it's what we want to pay for a physical copy as well. The pricing is like we want to pay it for a physical copy, but they give it. You're paying for the convenience, which is good, but it's bad as well. For us all being game collectors.
And Steam, Valve opened armed to indie games. Steam is filled with indie games.
Indie
Like Portal.
bundles. Yeah.
Like Portal. Portal started out as a mod for Half-Life 2.
Yeah.
And now look at it, it's probably one of the best puzzle games on PlayStation 3 and Xbox.
what do you guys want to get into some news?
Yeah.
We can. I only have one thing to talk about. And my first news story is regarding a pre-order bonus for the new Dia to Rhythm Final Fantasy game. And it's, if you reserve Deity's Rhythm Final Fantasy, a music game with songs from Final Fantasy 1 to 13, you'll get an oversized stylus and 17 stickers you can use to decorate it. One hero from each Final Fantasy game is on the sheet, along with a Mog and Chocobo, Cosmos, and Chaos. And it just says the game is scheduled for July 3rd in North America. Yeah. You want a cool stylus and stickers? Pre-order.
Where do you pre-order it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm assuming GameStop. It doesn't say.
What system is it on?
The 3DS.
3DS.
It's just like a
It's
little,
the first I've ever heard of it.
yeah.
Oh, it's amazing. I played it at PAX. It's a day one purchase for me.
Another day one purchase.
Another day one. I love
Another
Final Fantasy.
day one purchase.
I love Final Fantasy, so I definitely gotta get it. So
Yeah.
can't wait.
Pre-order and get a
I am.
stylus pen. With
Dude,
stickers.
I will.
Put the
I will
stickers all
pre-order it.
over it.
I won't use the stickers, but
Yes,
I want
you
the
will.
stylus.
It's just a cheap little, like,
we'll
white-
see you playing on your 3DS and you got this big
It's a
humongous
bunch of
stylus
stickers.
and go, oh, Link, press this on your inventory and you stab your 3DS and it goes right through because it's that big.
It's a pretty big stylus. Like, it's a pen size kind of big stylus.
You have a,
Oh,
you have
like
a
the
picture of Link?
XL.
Yeah, I can send you a link to the article. It shows the pre-order bonus. It's a kind of small picture, though. But
It's
yeah,
gonna be just like 13-2, man, where you get me to buy the special edition.
and my other news article is just regarding the new Persona 4 Arena fighting game. And it appears like there's kind of like a leaked image of like the main menu set up. And the main menu looks like a BlazBlue kind of setup, like typical Arc System Works. But like any good old fighting game, a fighting game is not complete until you have DLC. So it sure looks like Persona 4 Arena is going to have DLC. Famitsu shared a few more screenshots of Persona 4 Arena's console story mode. Before we get to those, take a look at the main menu. The options look pretty similar to Arc System Works' BlazBlue games. Wait a second. Underneath the network mode, Persona 4 Arena has Contents Market. That sounds like downloadable content shop. But what kind of items can Atlas sell? Perhaps looking at Arc System Works did with BlazBlue can give us an idea. BlazBlue games have extra character colors, system voice packs, souped up unlimited characters, and brand new characters available as DLC. So, yeah, it's just, yeah, there's a little option there that says Contents Market, which is most likely a DLC marketplace. So yeah, DLC, yeah.
Yay! Yeah, that seems to be a staple of modern gaming at the moment, is DLC, or just a load of crap, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I'm just getting started with the Persona series. I've got Persona 2 on the PSP, and it looks really good.
I played it.
I want to get hold of the first one though and play through 1, 2, 3, 4, and actually get to know the series from the start.
It's a tricky
believe-
series, because
Yeah,
the
I
first
believe
two
it's
are
one of-
different.
Yeah, I believe it's one of those that you got to really, really focus on it and try and get to like it. If you don't like it, then there's no point in playing the rest.
Yeah, they're long games too. Like Persona 3 took me 93 hours to beat the main story. So, and that's,
Is it side quest galore as well?
actually no. It's just the reason it's so long is because you go through like, like a life, like a actual life. So you spend like a whole year with these characters, and for 93 hours, I'll be honest, 93 hours flew by. Like at the end of the day, it wasn't like, oh man, I wasted 93 hours. It was like, I can't believe it was actually 93 hours, because the stories are so engaging. They're like some of the most engaging stories in RPG, and the combat systems are interesting, and it just keeps you engrossed. Like, it's one of those addicting RPGs, like, where you get so sucked into it that you kind of forget about time. Next thing you know, you've spent 90 hours.
I'll have to get hold of Persona 1 very quickly then.
Yeah.
Because I'm one of those, if I get a series of games, I have to start it from the beginning. Otherwise, I'll start it through and I'll be like, hang on, what's 2 like? What's 4 like? And I'll get myself confused.
Well, the
Which,
good thing
trust
about
me, is
Persona, is there are actually different stories for each one. Like, and like I was saying, like the weird thing is 1 and 2 are completely different. Like, they're really old school and vain. They're like dungeon crawlers, but 3 and 4 are more like they're completely different. Like 3 and 4 is more emphasis on like simulation aspects and relationship building and some dungeon crawling. So it's kind of interesting how it works. Like the first 2 are basically like PS1 RPGs, like they feel really old school, and then the other 2 are kind of different.
Well, Persona 2 on the PSP looks, it does look and feel really nice, so I'm going to start getting into it, most definitely.
I want the stylus.
It's a white stylus.
I don't care. This thing looks badass. I'm getting it.
You better like use all those stickers and slap them all over your 3DS.
I don't like putting stickers on consoles. It spoils them.
Oh man, when I was like 10 years old, I used to like take all these stickers and throw them on my original Nintendo.
Oh, I did that once. You know the Pokemon stickers that you used to be able to get, and you used to stick them all in a manual. Well, I used to have a lot of overfill ones. So what I did, I actually stuck them to my big box PS1, and it was like Nintendo characters on a PS1, and it was fantastic. I even put like a Pikachu on the power button. Just purposely on the power button, cut round it and took off the outer lines, so I had like a Pikachu power button. It was brilliant.
Yeah, but that's my news. So what do you got, Techno?
I have 2 news stories. One about Sonic 2 and another about Tekken. And I'll start off with the Tekken story. And the title reads, Tekken Director, if Tekken Tag Tournament 2 has DLC fighters, they will be free.
Woo! Take note, Capcom. Take note.
Oh, man. Okay. Quote, as far as DLC, we don't have concrete plans yet, but the way I'm thinking, though, is that the characters and such are like pieces that are necessary for a chess game. So you wouldn't want to sell them because some people would have them and some wouldn't. If we have DLC characters or stages, they would be free. We might use them for pre-order bonuses, though, because the retailers really like it. That doesn't mean they'd be exclusive forever, though. That just means you'd get it early for a certain period. So the players, they get to see a variety of different characters from different pre-orders and such. So that's awesome. Thank God.
Can't go wrong with
free DLC. You're having it the free DLC.
Yeah.
Stuff it, I'm buying Tekken Tag 2. Day one.
Day one. Another day one purchase.
Day one purchase. So what's this about Sonic 2?
Okay.
Well, you mean Sonic Episode 2? Sonic 4 Episode 2?
No. I'm talking about, this team was making Sonic the Hedgehog 2 HD. And, I don't know if I talked about it, last episode. I don't think we did. But, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 HD was in alpha stage, and, they gave it, they sent it out, you could download it, whatever. Well, someone found a keylogger.
Yeah, I heard about this.
Yeah, someone on the team put a keylogger in it, and it got, out of hand. Just crazy. Because
Sneaky
people
little
like...
bastard.
Yeah. So, we got a little update with it. Quote, last month we proudly showed off a demo of what we accomplished with Sonic 2 HD. Needless to say, more work has been done on the game. Unfortunately, the odds of this work ever seeing the light of day is slim to none. We gave the project lead programmer, Lost, a week to provide us with a DRM-free build of S2 HD. We've heard as much from him as you have, so it's safe to assume that it's not going to happen. Given his complete lack of communication and cooperation, it falls upon Lost to assume full responsibility for his actions as up until the demo was released. The project's leadership was unaware of both the DRM and the now infamous direct input bug. This was the last straw for us. He had ignored direct requests from the past 2 years, effectively holding the project ransom by refusing additional help or review on his private engine. If he didn't think a piece of artwork matched his vision for the game, it was not included, or worse, was replaced by assets of his own creation. The same thing happened with the excellent multi-format sound engine our Tools programmer, Saxman, created. Ultimately, Lost is no longer a part of the project. Sonic 2 HD is now officially discontinued.
Well, what should we do about him? Should we find the guy and flail him? Because, you know, I saw a few trailers of how it was actually coming along. I saw the early alpha and I thought that was, you know, really nice. You know, I thought, bring Sonic 2 back, because Sonic 2 was one of the best games in the series. You know, not my favourite. My favourite is Sonic 3 with Knuckles lock-in. But Sonic 2 was classic. It did so many things right, and it blew the original out of the water.
Yeah, Sonic 2 is my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
I got a little news. I'm not sure if you reported it last week, because I missed last week's podcast.
Oh, what the hell?
I've got one bit of news.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Who's played Dark Souls and Demon Souls?
I played Demon Souls.
Me.
Well, you need to get it bought for your PS3 and play it before the end of May.
Why?
Because at the end of May, they are shutting
Servers.
the servers down.
Yeah.
And what Atlas and From Software are doing, they are actually giving the players the chance to actually vote what the final world tendency is going to be on the last day, and then that will be the world tendency forever. So it could be a white world tendency or a dark world tendency. I hope it's the dark, because that is it's just criminally hard. It really is. But I love that game. It's such a good piece of artwork.
Why are they shutting down the servers? The game just came out, a few months ago, didn't it?
No, it's Demon Souls they're shutting down.
Yeah.
Dark Souls is still going to keep going.
Oh, the first
It's just
one, okay.
that Demon Souls has been out for 2.5 years, and they're trying to use the service for something else, really.
Oh, well, that kind of makes sense, I guess, but...
Yeah.
And Demon Souls is still as popular as Dark Souls is.
Yeah.
You know, it's always going to have pride of place on my shelf. Hell, I even went out and purposely looked for the Black Phantom edition.
It's pretty hard to find.
And Dark Souls is just awesome. Hard as hell, but it's still awesome. Yeah, so that's my little bit of news.
Yeah. No more messages on the ground. I like the messages on the ground. That was funny. They were funny because, and they were, like, you'd think it'd be a system that would have got out of hand. like just being able to pop a message on the ground, but all the messages I read were actually like relevant and helpful. They'd be like, oh, there's a treasure chest in this room, or watch out for this guy, he's going to be hiding around the corner trying to get you, or, you know, watch out for the sneak attack. You know, it was actually really helpful info.
Oh yeah, I used to love seeing the bloodstains on the floor.
Yeah, I love that.
Bloodstains, and you
see how
you
people
see
die.
someone drop down, and then they just go, whee, and you just sat there and laughed.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
This blood avatar just dropped down to its death, to the death.
That was cool watching people die. It's like, because they would all die in like unique ways, and I'd just sit there and watch and be laughing my ass off. And then I'd die, and then you see my blood stain, and it's just as bad.
I love the slogan on the back of Dark Souls though. It says "Prepare to die,"
That's great.
and then if you get the strategy guide, it actually says "Prepare to die less."
Yeah, that's funny.
And I'll tell you a funny story about the strategy guide. I bought the strategy guide, you know, for like the weapons and stuff, and you know, just to get a layout of what weapons would actually help me better with my character class. And I was looking for it to be at a decent price, and I did a video going into Leeds meeting two of my friends, and I found a copy of the book for £15, so I thought, yeah, I'm having it. Snagged it. I was dead excited. I took it home, opened it up, went onto Skype with Return to Mother Base, because he'd got the same game, you know, and he got the book as well. And then as soon as I said, look, I've got it, and he goes, you do know that's out of date? I went, you fucking bastard. I was dead excited about having this book, and he says, oh, it's useless now. And I've not found the reprint. Because what they did, they rebalanced the weapons. So all the weapons that would have been good for my characters are practically different and useless. Which sucks. Yeah, so that's my little funny stories.
It's question time!
Ah!
I know.
That just killed my ears.
I know. It hurts me every time. Every time.
Every time, but you like it.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. Dude,
I'll say objectively.
if you didn't
no.
like it, I'm not even gonna...
No. Continue.
Go for it.
I want to hear.
Break
I
some
wanna hear this.
kneecaps. Break some kneecaps.
If the listeners didn't like it, they would say something.
Say something in the comments, lads. And girls.
Next thing you know, it's nothing but comments like, it's horrible.
That's fucking horrible. Stop fucking doing that.
I mute the podcast when he does that.
Yeah, mute it for what, like 2 seconds?
Uh,
That is funny.
Shit.
Right, so what's the questions?
Alright, we have two questions. First one's from Pop-Tart Monkey 113. And this is for everybody. He asks, if you could make a superhero game, what would it be and why?
It would be a Young Justice video game.
Why?
Beat 'em up. Because, Young Justice, okay. I know Cartoon Network is pretty much shit now, but that cartoon is great. You gotta watch it if you're even remotely just a little bit into superheroes. It's great. Yeah.
I'd have to say Power Rangers Super Legends 2. Because I played Super Legends 1 on the DS, and it's fucking brilliant.
I love that game.
I love Power Rangers. Guilty pleasure. I'd rather be a Power Ranger fan than a brony.
Oh,
Yep, me too.
I think that was a stab at me.
Green Ranger.
Green Ranger. I prefer the Red Ranger with the dragon armor.
Oh.
He looked more kick-ass than the Green Ranger.
You know what was more kick-ass is when the Black Ranger, when he wore it.
What, for all of 30 seconds of an episode at the end of season 1?
That was an awesome 30 seconds.
Yeah, I know.
Yes. Wear my armor. It will heal you. Okay. I look like a plank. But then if you think about it, if you remember Once a Ranger, Always a Ranger episode, you saw Adam in that overdrive armor. That was kick-ass.
Yeah.
But I'll say the best Ranger ever, the Gold Ranger from Zeo.
Oh, King Ranger?
Yeah, he was pretty badass.
Yes.
The Gold Ranger. With Jason.
Yep. Dude.
Pure kick-ass.
Everyone thought it was going to be Billy. And then, all of a sudden, Jason walks in. And I'm like, oh my god, yes! Because, dude, back when I was, very little, I was a big Red Ranger fan.
Yeah, I like the Red Ranger, but I like the variants of the Red Rangers. I don't like the actual base Red Ranger. So like I said, with the Red Ranger with the dragon armor, or the dragon breastplate that he had from Season 2.
Yep.
I always thought he was cool. But then you get a lot of people that like, whether it's going to be the Rocky Red Ranger, or the Jason Red Ranger, or Tommy Green, or Tommy White, or even Tommy Red. And to be honest, my favourite Power Rangers was the actual In Space episodes. Because they seem to have a better story. And they weren't as moral driven as the earlier episodes.
My favorite, not my favorite, but one of the ones I really liked is, and it gets a lot of flack for it, is the Lightspeed Rescue ones.
They were a fun episode.
Rescue!
I like that one. And a lot of people don't know is that Titanium Ranger that was in that show, that was the first American-made Power Ranger. All the rest of them were created in Japan. Yep. That's why, it's one of the reasons why the Titanium Ranger was not in the show that very often, because they had no actual fight footage of him. All the footage that they did have of the Titanium Ranger was shot with an American actor inside. It was not a Japanese actor. Because he was made strictly for America. In Japan, Japan he didn't exist.
Which was a shame. But I'll tell you what, I want to start watching the Super Sentai episodes.
You know what?
Which is the Japanese equivalent. Because you watch an American episode, and it's all like, oh, I'm sorry, Kimberly, I knocked you over. And then they do an entire moral story from that scenario. But you watch Super Sentai, they beat the living shit out of them. And it's a proper martial arts bloody film.
You know what? Have you heard of the series Sentai Gokaiger?
That's the... I'm trying to think that's...
Like Samurai?
No.
No, it's... I think that was Overdrive, if I remember right.
No. Sentai Gokaiger is actually not it's the 35th season of the Super Sentai Rangers, and it's actually kind of like a pirate-themed Ranger.
Oh, yeah!
That's the Power Rangers 2013.
Yeah, but the thing is about this one season, it's the 35th anniversary of Super Sentai, and these Gokaiger, I guess, Power Rangers, they have these special keys that let them change into previous Power Rangers or previous Sentai Rangers of the past 35 years. So you're going to see, I'm going to use the American Power Rangers as an example. So you're going to see the Tommy Green Ranger with the Mystic Force Red Ranger with the Operation Overdrive Pink Ranger, because they can change into past Super Sentai Power Rangers. If you guys, I can actually give you Techno and sent us a link of you can download a torrent of all the Gokaiger episodes. Highly recommended if you're like a Power Ranger or Super Sentai fan. Just seeing all 35 version of Power Rangers in one show. It's awesome.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
But they all look like pirates. Yeah, I've seen pictures, but I couldn't think of which one it was. Because I know there's another Power Rangers, well, Super Sentai that's got Go in the title.
They pretty much all have Go in the title.
But which is your favourite form of the Rangers?
What do you mean form?
Well, you know, like Generation.
Well, like seasons?
Yeah, with Mighty Morphin, Zeo, Turbo, In Space, Lost Galaxy, Lightspeed Rescue.
See, my favorite's still probably the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but like there's other ones I liked. I liked Lightspeed Rescue. I kind of liked not Wild Force. Jungle Fury a little bit.
Jungle Fury. Yeah, I like obviously Mighty Morphin because it was what I grew up with.
Yeah.
Zeo, because Zeo was actually a good series.
Zeo, I love Zeo.
I didn't like Turbo, I thought that was crap. I liked In Space, because the helmets looked awesome with the different, you know, technical item in the helmet that lights up.
Yeah. Remember that they had an episode of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Oh, don't remind me. That was such a shit episode. That had no relevance to even a minute piece of the fucking franchise whatsoever. And the line that pissed me off the most was like, so the rumours are true, there's turtles in New York? What? The Power Rangers really exist? Oh, fuck off. Never did crossovers like that. That was just terrible. Now, the Masked Rider was a good crossover because it seemed relevant.
Yeah.
The crossover didn't seem relevant. They might as well just put Big Bad Beetleborgs in there and just be done with it.
Well, they did have them. Well, they didn't, you know, call themselves, you know, the Beetleborgs because they were all evil.
Yeah, they put them in the Forever Red episode.
Yeah.
But guys,
Borg as the main dude.
Yeah. But in the chat, I gave you guys a link. If you guys click on that link, it'll bring you to a website where you can actually click which.
Oh, dude, I download from this shit.
Yeah, and it's not just Super Sentai. You can get the Japanese Beetleborgs. You can get the Japanese Yu-Gi-Oh. You can even get the Japanese live-action Sailor Moon. You can get the Kamen Rider, which is, you know, the...
Yeah, dude, I watched Kamen Rider. My favorite one is Decade.
Yeah.
And they had a episode, or a couple, with some kind of Power Rangers, or Super Sentai. They were like samurais. I don't know what their Japanese name, though, is...
Yeah, we've got Super Samurai to come out over here. I've watched the original Samurai episodes, and I've watched the Clash of the Red Rangers film.
Yeah, but
it's got the Red RPM Ranger in it.
Yeah, but yeah, just click, put like a little check mark into the Gokaiger, and hit click the Go button, and it'll give you a list of all the torrents for each all 50 episodes of Gokaiger. Just download them. And there's such great quality, and you're gonna love it because, like I said, it's every season of Super Sentai all in one season.
Yeah.
I'll certainly check that out later.
Yeah.
So sweet.
Back to the question. Back to the question. We kind of lost track of ourselves.
What was the question?
Superhero game.
Any superhero game that mine would actually be. You know, it would either be a fighter or a beat 'em up. And
My Little Pony dress up.
No. Let's go with the podcast without My Little Pony for once. But
okay.
No, I was thinking maybe for like a fighter, I would take all like all the different superheroes from like the 80s. Like let's have He-Man versus Lion-O. Let's have Spider-Man versus Batman. You know, like the old 80s cartoons. You know, maybe some of the newer ones like have like Michelangelo fight Superman, you know, like for a fighter. And then I guess if I wanted to do a beat 'em up, do the same thing. Take like maybe He-Man with Brave Star. Take a Ninja Turtle. Take maybe one of the Ghostbusters. Take like 5 random superheroes, throw them in like a beat 'em up game, throw in online multiplayer. There you go. You have one hell of an online multiplayer game. Kind of like X-Men Arcade or something like that, or Turtles in Time.
Or what about like not a Smash Brothers clone, but something of a similar, like a Gauntlet, I'd say. Gauntlet style of game.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool too.
No.
Well, like I think a fighter would also be good too.
Oh, agreed.
So.
Totally agree.
What about you, Dan?
No.
Dan's being quiet.
No. I don't know a whole lot about Power Rangers, but anyways.
Dan hates Power Rangers.
No, I used to have the figures. Like, I had the action figures. I watched the early season, but I never got into it past that. Yeah. I still have my really old school figures. Like, I don't know if you remember, but they're like rubbery plastic. Like, they're just like rubbery, like one solid figure, and they're just like kind of rubber Power Rangers. This is weird.
I used to love those ones where you press the button and they used to...
Yeah.
Yeah, I had some of those too. I remember those with the head, transforming head. But yeah, for me, I would want like an open world kind of Ninja Turtles game, like set in New York, where you just go around the city and take on missions, and almost like how you do like the game style of like a prototype or kind of Grand Theft Auto, but you just take on missions, progress the story. There's like side missions to do. There's unlockables to find, like secret hidden items everywhere across the city. Play as whatever turtle you want and be able to drive around the vehicles. It'd be really fun.
And at one point you find Michael Bay and you hang him off the top of the Empire State Building.
One of the missions, they transform into aliens.
Yes. I would have thought the clue would have been in the title, but that's another rant for another day. Good question.
Guys, I linked you a picture of the Gokaigers if you want to check it out.
Can't wait.
Awesome.
No, if you look at the picture, they're
Yep.
I like the Japanese style.
I forgot to mention, I'm a part of a Power Rangers like forum, or well, more of like Power Rangers like cosplay. And I'm friends with a dude on Facebook called Anarchy, and he makes amazing cosplay suits. He makes the helmets out of, what they're really made out of, and he has the red one of this damn
Gokaiger?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yes, that one. And it looks so badass.
Must admit, I'm looking at the visors now, and I do like the visor on the Red Ranger.
Yeah, they look pretty badass. Like I said, the front 5, they're the main. Those are the original suits, and they're like pirates and shit. And then all the Rangers in the back, those are the ones that could turn into all the Rangers from the past 35 seasons. It's epic. Like, I highly recommend you guys watch this if you're interested in Power Rangers or Super Sentai.
Awesome. So. Provide the links in the doohickey below.
Oh yeah, I'll leave the links to for our listeners who are interested in Power Rangers or Super Sentai. The link I'll leave for you guys is mainly Super Sentai, but like I said, you could get the live-action Sailor Moon, you could get the Kamen Rider, you can get the Japanese Yu-Gi-Oh! I believe there's Japanese Naruto. So many different Japanese shows you guys could check out, and it's all torrents. So if you guys are able to download torrents, you'll be able to get these right away. So, and it's a wicked, great, reliable site. So,
yay!
And it's updated like every time there's a new episode for a new Centaur or just like another show. It's always updated.
Yep.
That'll be pretty damn awesome.
And all the episodes, they're in Japanese, but they're subtitled. So.
Oh, that's all right.
Yep.
I don't need to take out Japanese classes now.
But let's get on to the next question, and this is from Mikey's Monarch, and he asks, "What is the one game in your collection that you wish someone would steal?"
All the sports titles I've got left in
I
a
was gonna
box
say
in the
that
spare room. You can have them. Use them as I don't know. Yeah, coasters or something to pick your ass with. I don't know.
Yeah.
Going through my list.
That's the same for me. I would say like any of my sports titles, with the exception of the arcadey ones like NBA Jam, College Slam, NFL Blitz, and NHL PA Hockey 93 on the Genesis, because that game is fucking awesome. It's one of my favorite sports games.
Well, all my, stuff that I would give to people would be some of my Dreamcast games, but I don't want to get rid of them.
Yeah, I was going to say wash your mouth out.
Yeah, I'm trying to get all American Dreamcast games, so I don't have anything because I don't buy, shitty games.
No, we're not all AVGN.
Yeah, I'm going through my list of games, and games that kind of pop in mind. Let's see, I got MiG-29 Fighter Pilot for the Sega Genesis. I've never played that, so I don't care. I got Romance of the Third Kingdom 3 for the Sega Genesis. You can have that.
I'll take that.
Alright, there you go. A couple other ones. Let's see. I got Virtual Cop 2 for the Saturn. You can have that. World Series Baseball for the Game Gear. You can have that.
No, thank you.
Yeah, so, there's not that many games that, I want to get rid of, but those are a few. I got NHL Face-Off 99 for the PlayStation 1 you can have.
I have that too. I'm serious.
Yeah, this is some random games, so. Yeah. I got Madden 2010 you can have for the PlayStation 3.
No.
I bought that for $1 at GameStop 2 weeks ago.
You bought a Madden game? Wow.
Yeah, it was right there. Why not?
It's $1. It's like
it was $1, yeah.
dollar video game.
I think I said this before. I buy sport games every 7 years. So. But,
I need to actually clear out my game collection. I've got loads of shite that I've finished and I don't need anymore. So.
Oh, I got a crappy version of Roller Coaster Tycoon Deluxe for the PC you can have.
No thanks. I've played that game way too much.
But yeah, that's about it. I got Baker's Bill Trick Shooting for the Nintendo. You can have that one too.
I don't know what that was.
Yeah, I don't even know what it is either. I'm just going through my games. Oh, I got Video Pinball for the Atari 2600. I got 3 copies of that, so you could steal 2 and I'll be fine.
What, you give one to TechnoSqueek and one to Nostalgic Down 1?
There you go. You could each steal one from me, and I don't mind.
You can put a chain around and wear around your neck and have them as I don't know, friendship tokens.
Shit.
We all have a copy of Video Pinball for the 2600.
Oh yeah.
But that's it. That's all our questions this week. We only had 2.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, people don't love us.
Do you have a Facebook page?
Yeah, we have a Facebook page. No, we don't
We have separate ones, but we don't have one for
separate ones.
podcasts.
Right, one of you get onto Facebook and make yourself a fan page.
Techno.
Okay, I'll do it. Fuck.
I already have a page. I don't feel like matching too.
Yeah, I already got a page too.
Well, you just add a fan page, and it just runs like a normal Facebook page.
I know.
And then you make Mr. TechnoSqueek and Quick Freeze admins.
Yeah.
And you can all have responsibility.
I'll teach you.
Want to get into games we haven't
Okay.
played, honestly? God damn it.
Oh yeah, we totally forgot about that.
I don't know, I was like, we had the games we were playing.
Games we were playing.
Why don't you start us off, Sean?
I'll start. Right. Since we were talking about Power Rangers, I recently bought the Mega Drive versions of Power Rangers and Power Rangers the movie
Oh, shit.
on the Mega Drive, and
Awesome games.
start with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers game. That is a tournament fighter, basically.
Yeah.
You get to fight as the Megazord and the Power Rangers, and then you've also got the enemies and stuff like that. You also unlock the Green Ranger halfway through, which is literally the second round of battles, which is cool. And you get to fight as the Dragon Zord as well, which is pretty awesome. The movie game is a side-scrolling beat-em-up, and it's pretty cheap, pretty annoying, because all the enemies are pretty repetitive, and the Ooze-men seem to like to fondle you. You could be standing there beating the snot out of one of them, and then one will just come up and grab you, and it takes off like a big chunk of your health, which is annoying. Currently working on a video with that game. Also, I've been playing a bit of Kid Icarus Uprising, and I've started Final Fantasy IV Complete on the PSP. So,
How is that? I'm kind of interested in that.
it looks really nice. It looks good. It plays like the original. I think the only thing that it doesn't look like the DS one. The DS version of Final Fantasy IV, where they did it with 3D and voice acting and stuff. It's actually kept the 2D formula. They've just made all the images high res, which is pretty cool. But if you really like the Final Fantasy IV, the best one is obviously the Super Nintendo version.
That was what, Final Fantasy 2?
Final Fantasy 2, yeah.
Okay, I have that one. Okay.
Yeah, but that if you like Final Fantasy IV, that's the best one to play, in my opinion. And I think that's pretty much it, because I've not been playing any new generation stuff, because I've been trying to work through all my older stuff. One of the games I've got coming in the future is... Oh yeah, I've been playing Phantasy Star Portable on PSP as well. But I've got Third Birthday on the way, which I'm looking forward to actually trying out.
Yeah.
Because Parasite Eve series is just fantastic. I'm still waiting for a Parasite Eve 3 though. Not just the Third Birthday, which I consider as a spin-off more than anything. And that's pretty much it.
Nice.
Dan, you want to go?
No.
Fine, I'll go.
Go.
Okay.
I'll pass it on to you.
Let's see. I played Kid Icarus. I finally beat that game yesterday, I believe. Hard game. I don't want to say if people who haven't beat it yet, but the last dude, I won't say who it is, he's hard. He's
Okay.
really, really hard. I was like, come on, man, you can't be this hard, and he's that hard. But I finally beat it, and I'm going back, just doing the random, I guess, in-game achievements to reveal the, those pictures. But it's a lot of fun. I'm still collecting more of the AR cards, scanning them in, getting more hearts. So, like I said, AR cards are a lot of fun to collect, even though they don't really do all that much in the game. But yeah, I'm still enjoying that game a lot. Let's see, I beat Infamous 1. And that, like I said, he's basically Spider-Man with electrical powers. It's so fun. But as I started playing more and more of that game, the missions started getting not, they weren't really fun anymore. They started, to repeat. You always had to go 3 different places to do, something, shut down a generator, destroy a generator, turn this on, but you always had to do it 3 times in 3 different locations for each mission, so the missions started to get a little bit repetitive near the end. It's still a great game. I did enjoy it, and I thought the ending was such a great twist, so I do have Infamous 2. I can't wait to play that one.
Yeah, which route did you go? Did you go down the good route or the bad guy route?
I always go good.
You always go good. Try the bad guy route. You'll be surprised.
Well, I'll probably do, like I said, I'll probably play Infamous 2 next, because I just want to continue the storyline as a good guy, and then I might go back and do bad. So,
because I went for bad on my first playthrough, and the ending was totally different to the original, to the good ending.
Yeah, I heard there's 2 different endings depending if you're good or bad, and I actually went on Wikipedia because I wanted to find out what the bad ending was. So and I like the good ending a little bit better, but yeah, I can't wait to play Infamous too. So it's
getting cheap now.
Yeah, I actually got my Infamous 2 free when I bought my PS3 because it came in like a bundle. So.
Oh, it was alright then.
But the last game I've been playing is I'm currently playing the Castlevania Lord of Shadows for the 360.
It's not a Castlevania game, it's Lord of Shadows.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Like, it's basically, it's like, if you ever played, like, God of War, basically it's kind of just like that. You know, it's just your typical 3D beat 'em up, you know, you're kind of button mashing either the X or the Y button, you know, to do all these different, you're whipping your little chain around. You know, it's not a very...
like that sound effect.
Thanks. But it's not a very in-depth game, but you know, it's just one of those games where if you know you want to just beat the living shit out of things, go for it. You know, it's definitely one of those games where you can just take your frustration out on. I'm only on chapter 2 right now, so I'm not that far into the game, but I'm enjoying it for what it is.
Yeah, about as far as I am with it. So can't knock it though. You know, visually it looks stunning.
It does, and I like Patrick Stewart in the game. Like, I just love that man's voice.
They got the voicing right on this one, but it's not a Castlevania game. No, even though it's got werewolves and vampires and stuff like that, it's not a Castlevania. And that, if it was just titled Lord of Shadows, it would have done a lot better, in my opinion.
Well, originally it was called Lords of Shadows, and then they threw on the whole Castlevania name to it later on. Like, originally it was not going to be a Castlevania game.
They should have kept it like that, but you know what they're like when they get dollar signs in their eyes. They'll do anything.
Yeah, that's probably the main reason why they did that. But all in all, like I said, it's an okay 3D beat 'em up game, just like God of War. So if you like God of War, then you're gonna like this game. So, but what about you, Dan? What have you been playing?
Okay, so I'm gonna start off with the game I've been playing. Pretty much, I played most of last weekend, and that's Tales of Grace's F. I beat the boss that I mentioned I was kind of stuck on. I had the level grind. I beat him. He was challenging. It was a tough fight, but I was able to beat him. Because I'm playing the game on normal. So, I'm enjoying that. Like, it's a solid Tales of game. Even though it starts off really slow. Like, the first 8 to 10 hours of the game are fairly slow and kind of boring at times, but it hits this point where the game just picks up and it just gets incredibly good really fast. So really enjoying that. I'm definitely going to play some more of that. And a big game, just a little story before I go into this game. When I got my PS1, I was playing a lot of games because like I was young, so when I had my PlayStation 1, I was kind of into just like racing games in general, so I played a lot of racing games on the PS1 and just kind of like typical like action games and whatnot. I never got into RPGs on the PS1. I didn't get into RPGs hardcore until like the PlayStation 2, and then I got into them before on the Super Nintendo. But I just kind of skipped that generation of the PS1 RPGs, and I definitely want to go back and collect them. But I figured I'd start off the collection right, and I bought Final Fantasy VII Black Label for PlayStation 1, and I got a fantastic price on it. But I actually started playing it. I've never played it, and you know, for as much as people talk about Final Fantasy VII, I've actually done a good job staying clear of spoilers and all that. Like, I really, besides like knowing the character names, I really don't know anything about the game. Like, none of the story. Like, people would talk about it. I'd always like skip spoilers because I knew eventually I would play the game, and I didn't want to spoil it for me. So I started playing it. I actually put in like 3 hours straight, and that's kind of all the time I had to play for it. But I started off and it's phenomenal. It really is. Like, it starts you off, like, in the fastest battle I've ever gotten into in RPG. Like, literally waste no time. In the first couple minutes, bam, a battle. And just the musical score is phenomenal. People say the game looks dated. Are you kidding me? Besides, like, the character models, the game looks absolutely gorgeous. Mind you, I'm playing on a PlayStation 2 Slim with component cables, so it makes everything look beautiful and, like, upscaled high-res. It just looks gorgeous. I love the pre-rendered environments. It just looks phenomenal. I like the kind of steampunk style it's got going for it. Just a phenomenal game. I like the battle system. It feels good. The battle theme is epic. And I can really see what people talk highly about, because you're talking like I only played like 3 hours back there, and I can already tell the game's going to shape up to be something amazing. So usually a start of a game is kind of make or break for a game, but started off epic, and I don't expect it to slow down. So definitely want to play some more of that this weekend.
How are you liking the controls?
Controls are good. I don't see no problem with the controls.
No, because I'm only asking because I went back, I downloaded it on the PS3, and I was playing it, and like the controls were just a little bit difficult for me. Maybe just.
What do you mean, like specifically?
Well, I don't know, like moving like Cloud around. Maybe he would get like stuck on something, like a piece of junk or garbage, and like I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm used to the whole analog stick now, but like using the D-pad. Yeah, it just seemed a little awkward to me now. But maybe it's just because, I haven't used the D-pad to move my character around in a long time.
No, the weird thing is I'm playing with the analog stick. I think it's got analog stick compatibility on the original PlayStation 1. So I don't use the D-pad, so that's probably why I have no problems.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It works good with the analog. I can see why the D-pad, just playing alone with the D-pad, would be kind of frustrating.
Yeah, it's a little hard.
Yeah. But, interesting game. It's actually, this is my last game, but it's on Steam, and this is a game I highly anticipated for a long time, but it's actually been out for a year. But the problem was, I've always wanted to play this game, but the problem was, it was a kind of Apple exclusive for a long time. You can only play it on iPad and pretty much like Windows or Apple PC, Mac. So the game is called Super Brothers Sword and Sorcery EP. It finally got a Steam release on PC. They ported it over. They changed the controls to work with the PC. So I think it released, like, I kind of got it, I think, on like a couple of days after release, and I got it on sale actually. I think it's still going to be on sale till next week. It's a regular $8. They have it on sale for $6, and you get the phenomenal soundtrack with it. But what this game is, like Sword and Sorcery, it kind of sounds like like RPG-ish. It couldn't be more far from the truth. This game is like one of those extremely artsy games where it's kind of like a mindfuck game too, like where it just screws with your mind in general, like, but it is phenomenal. I am loving it. It's probably not the longest game because I can see how the story's going to progress, and I'm already, I would say, a third of the way through, so I can tell it's probably not that long. But picture just like a side-scrolling point-and-click adventure. Like, I can see how like they used it on the iPad, but you like point to move your character and you point at specific items. But the art style is kind of hard to describe. You really have to see like footage of this game to understand it. But the biggest thing with this game is the soundtrack is absolutely phenomenal. It is one of the most amazing soundtracks in video game history. And the game actually tells you multiple times to play the game with surround sound like speakers, or preferably with headphones on, which I play with headphones on, and you have to play it that way. Just like every little sound effect, like you can hear everything so crisp and clear, like him like sheathing his sword or putting the shield. And it's weird too because it is kind of just like an adventure exploration game, and you solve like environmental puzzles, but you do get into these occasional fights where you tap on the shield to block. There's like a shield icon and a sword icon, and you tap on the shield to block, and you tap on the sword to attack. So, yeah, like, I can't explain it. Like, explaining it it's one of those games that's hard to explain. You really have to look it up, but it is phenomenal. Like, it is kind of one of those artsy-fartsy kind of games, but it is absolutely phenomenal. Gorgeous looking style. And definitely, it came out like 2011, so it's one of my favorite indie games so far. And like I said, it's on sale. You should definitely check it out. But you have to look it up, because I can't explain it. It's so hard to explain. Just look up footage. I think there's a trailer for it, so I would say like look up the trailer. It's called Super Brothers Sword and Sorcery EP. It is a phenomenal game. Like, if you like kind of point-and-click adventures, you'll definitely love this. It's just a trippy game, like just so trippy, but so good.
Well, with a title like that, it's not surprising it's trippy.
Yeah, and that's what I'm telling you. It's one of those mindfuck games, but it's so good. Like, it's like, yes, please fuck my mind. Why don't you?
That shit's so wrong.
That did sound so
That game
wrong.
does the same. Like,
Go fuck it.
it's so good though, but I highly recommend it while it's still on sale on Steam, and even for $8, like hell, if it goes back to $8, still worth it. It's just phenomenal. But yeah, it's all I've been playing. So, Techno, what have you been playing?
Well, you talking about getting mind fucked. I've been really wanting to get that one GameCube game, the first Nintendo published game to get an M rating.
Is that Geist?
Eternal Darkness.
Yeah. That's a trippy game too.
Yeah.
That is an awesome game.
Fucked. Yeah. I've never played it though, but I'm wanting to get it and get and stream it on Twitch.
Yeah.
So yeah. Other than that, I haven't been playing much. I played some a little bit, just like grinding in one of the best RPGs of all time. Dan knows what I'm talking about. That Tales of Vesperia.
Phenomenal. Masterpiece.
Yeah, it's a fucking masterpiece. And if you don't own it by now, I should just come and hang you from a ceiling fan.
I've just died.
And turn it on. And turn it on and they swing it around.
Yeah, swing it, and I'll take pictures and send them to your family members.
I have a little disclaimer with Vesperia real quick. If you want it, I would suggest getting it soon because I've been noticing something with the price. It's becoming evident that the game didn't sell well to begin with. It absolutely bombed, and that's what led to the questioning of Bandai Namco in the Tell series. But what I'm saying is, it's starting to become relevant that there's less and less copies available. Like, for a long time, it's like, oh, plenty of copies available, but eventually it's going to hit that point because it didn't sell well, where there's less and less copies. And it used to be where you could get the game, like, brand new, $20, no problem. Now it's kind of bordering on, like, the $40 range, just constantly going up and up and up. So it's becoming evident that there's less copies out there, so I would suggest getting it sometime soon, if you're interested.
Yeah. Dude, if I could just, give Bandai Namco money for just
I wish I bought that game brand new.
I'd just be like, take my money.
That would have been a day one for me if I knew about the game. Day one. I'd buy 2 of them. Keep one still.
Yep. I'd buy the whole fucking stack.
Actually, what I would have bought and damn me, I want it so bad, but I'll never own it, is a Tales of Vesperia Metal Tin Special Edition, which is uber rare. And the only extra goodie, the only extra goodie it has is, but it's a good goodie. It's a Tales 10th Anniversary soundtrack CD featuring music across the series, so that's what, they did such a limited print run of it. There's probably only a couple thousand, maybe even 1,000. Just they didn't publish it too much. They didn't talk about the special edition too much, and the game was kind of obscure to begin with. So, and now it is impossible to find. If you go on eBay, there's maybe always 1 or 2 available, but they want $200 or something for it, $300. So it's a really rare special edition. I'd buy that.
It's like trying to find a copy of Musha.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Yeah. That's my mission at the moment. I want Musha. Have to have Musha.
Yeah. What the hell else have I been playing? Oh, well, after the podcast last week, we were saying me and Aaron were going to go get bitches. Well, we decided, nah, we're going to go get kitchen.
Sweet.
Kitchen. I meant chicken.
Chicken.
And then chicken, come back, played some more Majora's Mask.
Oh, yeah.
Where the hell did I get kitchen from?
You're thinking about going to the kitchen.
I thought you were going to say skitchin.
Skitchin. No. But, yeah, Majora's Mask, and I still believe it's better than Ocarina of Time. Flame Shield up. I think it was Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fucking love that game. And no, you two are not stealing Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles.
Damn, he foiled our plans.
Damn it.
It's okay. I'll nick it after the podcast.
Sweet. So, is that it, Techno? Is that all you've been playing?
Actually, no. I downloaded Shoot Mini Robots, I believe it's called.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
It just came out like weeks ago, or like a week ago, or 2 weeks ago, or something. And it's pretty badass.
Yep.
It's made by the guys that did Borderlands, and yeah.
Borderlands is such an awesome game. Can't wait for this Borderlands 2.
Yeah.
I will be playing that.
That's it for me.
Okay. Well, that's about it. That's, what do you guys say? Wrap it up?
Wrap it up.
That shit up top.
Don't forget to tie a little bow on the top.
Okay.
You don't do that with those.
Oh, you do it with those.
Yeah.
Ah, now I know.
What the hell are you guys talking about?
Nothing.
We don't know. I'm suffering from sleep deprivation.
Okay. Well, why don't we end it right here? And,
I was talking about condoms. Jesus.
I know.
God damn it. Alright, well, we want to thank Sainted Magnus for joining us on the podcast.
Yep.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it was fun.
It's been fun. It's been very insightful.
Yeah.
We have learned that Power Rangers is awesome.
Power Rangers are awesome.
We've learned that, no matter how much you dress it up, My Little Pony will always have a little gang of followers.
You know what? You guys bring up My Little Pony more than I do.
Yeah,
I'm just letting you guys know that.
And the fact that we're going to end up stealing a copy of Sonic 3, and it's going to be auctioned off on eBay later on tonight.
Damn right.
And damn Sega for not giving me a the beta test for Phantasy Star Online 2. So, I've been Sainted Magnus. Thank you very much for listening.
Why don't you plug your YouTube channel and your podcast one more time?
Well, I'm part of the Hey Bit podcast. All the links will be down below. Also, there's a link to my channel. Not much will be happening on there for a bit because I'm working on other projects. But I shall be putting up a video. Most likely it'll be like an update or a pickup video. I'm aiming to get something by the end of the month. So, yeah, so stay tuned.
Sweet.
Nice.
And they can find me on YouTube as QuickFreeze4, and that's the number 4. And I also have a QuickFreeze Facebook, kind of like a fan page. You can go there and like me. I do updates on the channel, updates on this podcast, and yeah. What about you, Dan? Where can they find you?
You can find me at youtube.com/nostalgicdan1. I also do have a Twitter, which is nostalgicdan. It's similar to Clive, but I do have a Facebook page where you can find me as Nostalgic Dan and like me on there. And I do have a live streaming page at twitch.tv/nostalgicdan. What about you, Techno? Where can our fine listeners find you?
Well, they can find me at youtube.com/MrTechnoSqueek. And I also have a Twitter, which is the same thing. So, trying to keep it all, close together. And I do have a twitch.tv which I'm wanting to start doing more streams and stuff, and that is also MrTechnoSqueek. It's they're all one giant word, MrTechnoSqueek. And remember the 2 E's. And that is it for me.
And for this podcast, of course, you can find it on YouTube as the Press Start Pod. You can listen to all our episodes there. We will also put a audio version in the description below the video, so you can it'll click that, it'll link it to another website where you can actually download each episode as an audio format. We also have a Twitch TV account where when we do go live, you can join us for live episodes of the Press Start podcast. We also have a Twitter account. Isn't that right, Techno?
Yes, it is. And it is Press Start Pod. All one word.
Right on. And, of course, we are on iTunes. If you guys like this podcast, please go to iTunes, leave a 5-star review. We really appreciate it. It helps us out a lot. And we are on Pete's Game Room Forum, where you can go there, leave comments for each individual episodes, leave comments on the different threads there, interact with different listeners of the podcast. It should be a lot of fun. And if you guys have any future questions for the Press Start podcast, you can either leave us a comment if you're listening to it on YouTube below the video, or you can email us at pressstartpod@gmail.com, or if you're on Pete's Game Room Forum, there is a thread there for questions, so you can leave our questions there, and we will answer them for future episodes. And we do take audio questions, so if you guys want to do an audio questions, we will play them on the show and answer them.
Also, we do have a Facebook page, so come and like it. It's on facebook.com/PressStartPodcast.
Awesome. That wraps it up.
That wraps 33.
Trace.
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 That's the how you say it.
Give it the stamp of approval.
Certified.
Is that it?
That's it. We gotta say goodbye and end it.
Bye, guys.
Bye, you guys.
Have a good
Be good.
Don't fuck
Bye.
yourself.
Dan, meet me outside Techno's house. We gotta get his game.
Will do. I'll be.
Bye.